Hey there, food fans! Let's talk about chocolate. Most folks think of a candy bar when they hear the word chocolate. But chocolate has a long and fascinating history. It's way older than you think. We're going way back to ancient Mesoamerica. That's where it all began. We're talking about thousands of years ago. Back then, chocolate wasn't a sweet treat. It was a sacred drink. It all starts with the cacao bean. These magical beans come from the cacao tree. These trees thrived in the humid rainforests of Mesoamerica. The people there discovered the secret of the cacao bean, and so began the love affair with chocolate. Our journey starts with the Olmecs. These guys were the first to cultivate cacao trees. Archaeological evidence suggests they were enjoying a chocolate drink as early as 1900 BC. Can you imagine? The Olmecs didn't leave many written records. We don't know exactly how they prepared their chocolate, but we do know they used cacao beans to make a bitter drink. They probably mixed it with spices and herbs. This drink was an important part of Olmec rituals and ceremonies. It wasn't something they just enjoyed every day. It was special. They believed cacao had mystical properties. The Olmec civilization faded, but their legacy lived on. They passed their knowledge of cacao to another great Mesoamerican civilization, the Mayans. The Mayans took the cacao bean and ran with it, transforming it into something truly special. They refined the process of making chocolate, turning it into an art form. They roasted and ground the beans into a paste, a labor-intensive process that required skill and patience. Then they mixed this paste with water, spices, and even chili peppers, creating a unique and flavorful drink. This drink was called xocolotl, which means bitter water, a name that perfectly described its taste. It wasn't necessarily something you'd want to chug down, as it was quite bitter and strong. But the Mayans, like the Olmecs before them, considered it sacred and revered it deeply. Xocolotl was used in religious ceremonies, weddings, and even as medicine, believed to have powerful properties. The Mayans believed cacao had spiritual and healing properties, making it an essential part of their culture. They even had a god of cacao, showing its importance in their society. His name was Ekchua, and he was honored in various rituals and ceremonies. The Mayans were also the first to start cultivating cacao on plantations, which significantly increased cacao production. This made it a valuable commodity, traded and cherished throughout their civilization. It even played a crucial role in their economy, with cacao beans sometimes used as currency. Fast forward a few centuries, the Aztecs rose to power in Mesoamerica. They inherited the Mayan love for cacao. In fact, they valued it even more highly than gold. Cacao beans were used as currency. Imagine buying groceries with cacao beans. They were also given as gifts to warriors and nobles. Cacao was a symbol of wealth and power. The Aztecs had their own version of xocolotl. They liked it bitter and spicy. They believed it gave them strength and energy. Montezuma, the Aztec emperor, was said to drink gallons of it every day. This Aztec obsession with cacao would have a huge impact. Because guess who showed up in the 16th century? That's right, the Spanish conquistadors. Section 5. Chocolate conquers Europe. In 1519, Hernán Cortés and his conquistadors arrived in Mexico. They were looking for gold and glory, driven by tales of immense wealth and the promise of new lands. Instead of gold, they found something even more valuable. They discovered cacao, the source of chocolate. At first, the Spanish weren't so sure about this bitter drink called xocolotl, made from cacao beans, but they quickly realized its value, not just as a drink but as a potential commodity. They shipped cacao beans back to Spain, eager to introduce this exotic find to their homeland. And thus, chocolate made its way across the Atlantic, embarking on a journey that would change European tastes forever. The Spanish court was intrigued by this new beverage. They experimented by adding sugar and other spices to the xocolotl recipe, transforming it into a sweeter, more enjoyable drink. This made it more palatable to the European palate, which was unaccustomed to the original bitter taste. Chocolate quickly became a fashionable drink among the Spanish elite, a symbol of status and sophistication. But the Spanish kept the secret of chocolate to themselves for almost a century, guarding it jealously. They didn't want to share their newfound treasure with the rest of Europe, fearing competition. But secrets are hard to keep, especially when they taste this good. Eventually, the secret of chocolate spread, and it began to conquer the rest of Europe. Section 6. From Bean to Bar: Industrial Revolution and Chocolate. This chapter explores how the Industrial Revolution transformed the world of chocolate. By the 17th century, chocolate had spread throughout Europe, becoming a beloved treat across the continent. It was the drink of kings and queens, a luxurious indulgence reserved for the elite. Chocolate houses popped up in London, Paris, and Amsterdam, becoming social hubs where people gathered to enjoy this exotic beverage. It was like the coffeehouse craze, but with chocolate. These establishments were the place to be for the fashionable and the wealthy. But making chocolate was still a laborious process, requiring skilled artisans to grind cacao beans by hand. It was made by hand in small batches, limiting its availability and keeping it a luxury item. This all changed during the Industrial Revolution, a period of great technological advancement. In 1828, a Dutch chemist named Coenraad van Houten invented a revolutionary new process that would change chocolate forever. He figured out a way to separate cocoa butter from the cacao bean, a breakthrough that transformed chocolate production. This made it possible to create solid chocolate, paving the way for the chocolate bars we know and love today. This invention paved the way for the mass production of chocolate. Machines replaced manual labor, making production faster and more efficient. Chocolate became more affordable and accessible to the masses, no longer a treat just for the wealthy. It wasn't just for royalty anymore. People from all walks of life could now enjoy the sweet taste of chocolate, making it a beloved treat for everyone. Section 7. Milk chocolate and the rise of big chocolate. Remember that cocoa butter that Van Houten separated? Well, it led to another game-changer, milk chocolate. In 1875, a Swiss chocolatier named Daniel Peter had the brilliant idea of adding condensed milk to chocolate. Milk chocolate was an instant hit. It was sweeter and smoother than dark chocolate. It appealed to a wider audience, especially children. Thus began the era of big chocolate. Companies like Cadbury, Hershey's, and Nestle emerged. They built massive factories and created innovative marketing campaigns. Chocolate bars, truffles, and bonbons flooded the market. The world would never be the same. Section 8. Modern Delights, Artisanal Chocolate and Ethical Sourcing. Today, chocolate is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It comes in countless varieties, from simple milk chocolate to exotic dark chocolate with sea salt and chili flakes. But amidst this mass-produced abundance, there's a growing movement towards artisanal chocolate. Artisan chocolatiers are like chefs. They source high-quality cacao beans directly from farmers. They experiment with unique flavors and ingredients. They create chocolate that's not just a treat, but an experience. This movement also emphasizes ethical sourcing and sustainability. Consumers are becoming more aware of the social and environmental impact of their chocolate. They're demanding fair trade practices and sustainable farming methods. Section 9. Chocolate's enduring appeal. From the ancient rainforests of Mesoamerica to the shelves of your local supermarket, chocolate has come a long way. It's been a sacred drink, a currency, a luxury item, and now a global phenomenon. But one thing remains constant: our universal love for chocolate. Whether it's a simple chocolate bar or an elaborate dessert, chocolate brings joy and indulgence to people all over the world. So the next time you take a bite of chocolate, remember its long and fascinating journey. It's a story that's as rich and complex as the flavor of chocolate itself.